Hey guys, my name is Kashmir. I'm a licensed associate marriage and family therapist at Dawn Institute. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about why play therapy is so important. I have so many parents that come in and they ask me how I help their kiddos process. And I've had many say they don't want their kids to feel like they're just coming in to play. And to be honest, I like when kids come in and they feel like they're playing because it creates that safe atmosphere for them to process through what they're experiencing through. So there's so many benefits to play therapy, but first and foremost, play is a kid's first language. When you think about it, kids at a young age aren't able to sit down and have a conversation like you and me. They are distracted, they're trying to play with their toys, and that's because that's how they stay engaged. And so when we can use that to our advantage, it helps them navigate through what they're experiencing and their emotions and all of those things so much easier. So why is play so important? How does play work? How can you play with a child and help them process through their things? Well, play stimulates a different part of the brain. And so one of the techniques that I love using with my clients is sand tray. It's literally a box of sand. And I have so many cute figurines that kids love to play with. And it helps them create a world in a safe space. When my clients are able to create worlds in the sand, it creates a safe place for them to get those emotions out. A lot of times they're not even thinking about what they're processing. It's the different side of their brain engaging and doing the work for them. So we have two different sides of our brain. We have left brain and right brain. And one side of the brain is in control of logic and the other side is in control of creativity. And that's our emotion side. And it's important for us to help any individual navigate through left and right brain to process through what they're experiencing. So with using play, I'm actually able to help them process through what their stressors are, their trauma experiences, more efficiently because I'm able to target both sides of their brain. So when I'm using tools like the sand tray, it's creating this safe world and atmosphere in this little sandbox where they feel a sense of safety and security, where all of these big, bad, horrible things that stress them out, that concern them, they can put it in this tiny space and they can keep it contained and controlled, which gives them a sense of control and a sense of safety. And we don't talk about these things outside of the box. They get talked about in the box. They get left in the box. There's so much meaning that goes into it too. There's so much work. There's so much more than just play. But it creates this environment for them to feel like I can leave this here and I can walk out of this door and go home and everything's okay. There's so many other great reasons why play therapy is so effective. It gets kids really comfortable. I have so many kiddos and teens that come in and they don't want to talk. I don't know. I get a lot of those. These are my favorite. And I'm like, that's okay. We don't have to talk. And we sit there and we play games and I'm helping them feel comfortable and I'm helping them feel safe. And I find that anyone, adults, kids, anyone, when we feel comfortable, when we feel safe, we talk. When we feel comfortable, when we feel safe, we open up about so many more things. And a lot of things come out so much deeper in play because it's distracting them and it's helping them keep two attentions at once, where now this big bad thing doesn't seem so big bad. It can seem a lot more comfortable for them to talk about. And it can create this area of, I can talk about these things and it's not so bad. Some other benefits. I have found that these tools works on adults and couples too. I have several clients that I use my sand tray with, and it creates this image of what they're experiencing. And so for them, I definitely take a lot more of a direct approach, because we're adults, we're able to sit down and talk about things and understand things on a deeper level. But it creates this image, and I've had so many couples where they bring this image up over and over and over in therapy, because it's so meaningful for them, because they're finally able to show their partner how they're feeling, or they're able to see how they're feeling. And it's giving this really deep understanding of what's going on. And so it's a huge significant moment for them of like, wow, this is what I've been feeling. This is what I've been talking about. And I just couldn't put words to it. And here the words start coming out, because now it's like, yeah, this is what's happening, and I can show you what's happening, and now we can figure out words to it together. And so it's really impactful all the way around, but especially for kiddos. Children are not able to have the capacity to sit down and have a conversation one-on-one like this until they're about 8 years old. So any child under 8, you're not going to be able to sit down and have a really thought out conversation like this. So it's a lot harder for a child to stay engaged when we're trying to have a conversation like this. They just don't developmentally have that attention span. And so this is where play comes in. Play is how, like I mentioned before, play is a child's first language. And so we interact with them via play to give them that language and to help them understand what's going on without using our words and without speaking in sentences like this. As kids get older, that 8, 10, 12 age, they are able to sit down and have conversations. But even then, you see their attention span kind of going off into another area. And they don't have that patience to sit and have this conversation, even though they are developmentally starting to become able to. And so for that, even my 8-year-olds, even my 10-year-olds, even my preteens, I engage them in play. And so I find that talking to them is so much more effective when you're engaging in play. These are tools that I give parents to use at home. I talk to them about, hey, when we're trying to do our homeworks, I give parents homework too. Do it while you're engaging in play. Go outside, throw the football, kick the soccer ball, shoot the basketball, and have these talks during those times with your teenagers if they do sports, or with your younger kiddos and you're playing Barbies or cars, Hot Wheels, dinosaurs, and use that time to have those conversations with them. Every parent that has done this has come back and said that they learned so much more from interacting with coloring, games, sports, than they did trying to sit down and have a one-on-one like this. So these are things that you can definitely do at home with your kiddos, with your preteens, with your teens. If you're trying to communicate with them, try reaching them at their level. Try throwing the ball around. Try playing a game. See what happens. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Feel free to ask any questions and I will answer those. And anything that we can do to help you guys, any additional resources that you guys need, feel free to let us know and we can put those in the comments.